Hello, Denver. It is great to see you all. This is a very exciting day because it feels like a very long planned for party, which is we know Denver has been waiting, downtown has been waiting, and the city is ready for 16th Street to reopen again. And so as you see buses driving behind us, we are really excited today to talk about the grand reopening of 16th Street, what it looks like, what it will feel like, and hear from some of the amazing partners who have made this happen. And so as a part of this, as you know, we will have two components. One is all of the things you always loved about 16th Street will still be true. You will be right in the middle of one of the most vibrant downtowns in America. You'll have the mall ride going up and down it that is free access to and from. You will have great local and national retail brands all around. You will have the places you came to love as a kid, like I did, that will still be here. And also, we are really excited to build the next 100 years of what 16th Street can look like and feel like, and what this experience will mean. And as part of that, we are excited to announce an update in what we describe this great Denver landmark as. As you know, when we first opened it, this was called the 16th Street Mall. And at that point in the 80s, I was wearing giant breakdancing pants and 3 swatches. And there were a lot of practices we used then. And suburban malls were really the norm. What this has become is something very different than a suburban mall. It is a mile of diverse restaurants, businesses, retail, commercial. It is a whole downtown experience. And so we will now describe this great jewel in Denver as 16th Street, which is a name everyone knows, everyone loves, but we dropped the mall because it is so much more than just one retail location or one block. It is an entire mall of experience, a mile of experience. We want you to come here and be able to experience that. And so as part of what we've done in that definition is not just clarify our call to come down to 16th Street, but really describe what we want this place to feel like. And what you'll hear from Courtney and our friends as we describe it is that we call 16th Street the Denver Way, which has 2 meanings. One, it is literally the main street of downtown. It is the Denver Way by which you can make your way through downtown. It is also an example of where you'll find all the things that are done the Denver Way, which is you will find amazing retail, you will find diverse communities, you will find openness and friendliness, you'll find connection to the outdoors, the Denver Way. And so I think part of what you'll hear and see in this brand is a description of 16th Street as the Denver Way. We think this place will embody all that people love about Denver. It will be original to Denver. It will have a sense of optimism. It will have a sense of openness so that every person in every part of Denver feels at home in this street. And what you will see here as more and more retailers open their doors is you will see a lot of what we describe as the best of Denver, only in Denver. You will find those brands that you love locally and regionally that both are either from Colorado or connected to Colorado that will occupy these spaces so that when you come to Denver to visit, this is the trailhead to Colorado. This is the place where all of your journeys begin and maybe where they end on the way in and out because we want this to have that kind of experience. And so what we do today is not just reopen a street, but a downtown, a way of life, and a brand that we think puts Denver on the map for the next 50 years as one of the great, unique, vibrant downtowns in the country. And so we couldn't be more excited about it. We're going to talk a little about our grand opening next weekend, many of the events that will be happening. You're going to hear more from our friends. I'll just add, among the wonderful activations you'll see and hear about, as we will have new locations where you can come to experience and enjoy downtown, including 3, for opening weekend, we'll have 3 different open outdoor beer halls. We do know Denverites like to drink beer and have a cocktail and relax. We'll both have activation at Skyline Park, where we'll have a beer hall open. We will have an outer space, a special weekend activation there. And then we'll have up at Glenarm Plaza as well, an open consumption location where folks can go to restaurants or bars, walk outside, sit down with friends or family, and enjoy beautiful days like this. So I think you'll see some things you loved before, some things that will be new, but we think for everyone, there's going to be something to love about 16th Street. So without any further ado, I am going to turn it over to our incredible partner on this, Courtney Garrett, who leads the Downtown Denver partnership, has been the visionary, the workhorse, and getting every part of this done from start to finish, and excited to turn it over here to talk a little bit more about both the brand, the vision, and the experiences you'll be able to have on your new 16th Street. Thank you all so much. Great to see you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Well, I get the pleasure of representing a tremendous amount of work. So before I jump into some formal comments, I just really want to thank so many partners in the community and at the city who have been here every step of the way. You're going to hear from our Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, obviously huge partner in that, from PCL. I also want to recognize our partners at Arts and Venues and our partners with the Department of Economic Development and Opportunity, because without all of this, we would not be here. So this truly is a semblance of the royal we. So I want to thank all of you so much for being here with us today. As you heard from the mayor, this is just the start of so many exciting and historic moments from our city that we will have right here on 16th. As construction fences have come down, we have truly spent the last year digging into the past and to the future of this place, leaving no paver unturned. A little bit, okay, one laugh, thanks, appreciate that. And together with our partners at DNCO, which is an international firm whose passion is for telling the stories of great places, we've gathered memories from the past, decades, and generations, going back and listening to what 16th Street truly means to our community. We heard about the hopes, dreams, and plans that our community has for the future of this place. And through these conversations, one common theme continued to emerge. 16th Street is not only the signature spine of our downtown, but the heart and the soul of our city, where our communities take center stage. So whether you come here to gather with friends, to celebrate milestones, to try new food, or to shop for something special, you can do so the Denver way. And the thing about experiencing the Denver way is that there is no one way. You heard the mayor say it. It's about embracing the open, the original, the unique, and making it all your own. This repositioning work from the Mark, which plays homage to street signs and old murals downtown, to the color palette, which is inspired by Colorado's natural landscape, to the suite of icons illustrated by local artist and illustrator Brian Montees, otherwise known as Yams, who you'll hear from in just a moment. Every single piece of this effort has been designed and brought to life to reflect the spirit of our city and to offer all those who experience 16th Street a welcoming, world-class public space that tells our story, the Denver way. After all, 16th is our city in a street. Over a mile of live music, local food, public art, and experiences that are waiting to be written. And speaking of, as the mayor gave us a little tease, we will be celebrating all of these things all summer long right here, starting this weekend on Memorial Day. Any of you Fisher fans out there? Right? Okay, all right. There's a certain subset of much younger demographic who gets that, but my 13-year-olds were introduced to Fisher last weekend and they love it too. So Fisher will be here on Memorial Day, drawing thousands of people to this incredibly unique experience. Then the following weekend, May 31st and June 1st, will be the official 16th Street kickoff to our summer in downtown. Right? You can feel it. So what you can expect, we will have more than 150 vendors and marketplace participants, nearly 100 performers who will enliven more than a mile of music, art, dance, and more. And for the first time here in Denver, we will host the IFSC International World Cup of Speed Climbing. Absolutely incredible for our city. We're inviting the entire community to come be a part of the fun and experience the new 16th Street, the Denver way. So, I could not be more thrilled to now turn it over to Brian Montees, again, much better known as Yams, to our community to talk about the inspiration, the reflections, and what he has manifested through this part of the illustrations in the repositioning. Yams, hand it over to you.
Hello, hello, Denver. How we doing today? Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Before I start with my remarks, I want to say that this is an ode to the amazing people that have put in so much work into making this space for the next 50 years, like the mayor mentioned, a space for all generations to come. So thank you so much to everyone who made this possible. My name is Brian Montes Terrazas, and I'm an artist and commercial illustrator here in Denver. I primarily work with queer-owned, women-owned, and POC-owned organizations all across the United States and the world, but mostly here in Denver, Colorado, in the Denver metro area. My work centers around uplifting marginalized identities in all forms, especially when it comes to queer and immigrant identities. My parents came to Colorado in the spring of 2000, and the day we arrived, I saw my first ever snowfall. They came here in the pursuit of a better life for their young family. Colorado has always been home to me, and I'm so excited that I get to give back in this capacity with my art and leave a lasting legacy. As a lifelong Coloradan, I'm inspired by the colorful, whimsical, multicultural, and adventurous nature of my community, and these icon illustrations are a reflection of that. I had the honor and privilege of working with the Downtown Denver Partnership, DNCO, and the Mayor's Office to come up with work that is reflective of our community and especially 16th Street and the moments that it gives us. The icons represent these moments along the street that we create memories forever. Moments like grabbing dinner before a Rockies game and then grabbing the bus to get to the stadium, exploring the inside of the Daniels and Fisher Clock Tower, and getting a special gift for that someone you love here on 16th Street. All my life, I've been going down 16th Street with my friends and family, and this art is an ode to the future of this city because this is the city of the future. Thank you so much to the Denver Downtown Partnership, the DNCO agency, the Mayor's Office for trusting me with this very important work. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So fantastic. Thank you so much, Brian. We are so grateful for putting your talent and your heart and your soul into this project. You can really feel the community support coming forward. And speaking of, it is absolutely my next pleasure. It's spring in Denver, my friends.
We're bringing down the house.
To introduce Mr. Downtown himself, Council Member Chris Hines. Come on over.
You want me? You got it. There we go. I'm also going to grow up. My mom told me to grow up, and I can finally do that here with this nice wheelchair. All right. My name is Chris Hines. I serve on Denver City Council representing District 10. I like to call it Denver's Perfect 10, in part because it has downtown as part of its district. Courtney, thank you so much for calling me Mr. Downtown. Part of the reason why I'm called Mr. Downtown is because I have 75,000 constituents all around the center city, but also part of it is because I get to represent the amazing area right here that's called 16th Street. What I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about the Denver Way. So as the mayor had mentioned, the Denver Way means two things. It means geography, it means a physical space. I want to lean into the Denver Way as in a way of life. We have constituents in District 10 who have been here for generations. We also have constituents who have been here for weeks. And each of them bring their stories from the places where they came from. That could be Texas or California or Chicago or New York. I'm a transplant. I came from Texas. And I hear time and time again people talking about where they came from instead of talking about the Denver Way. This is our opportunity to have a geographic space, but also a space for us to have for the entire world the Denver way. This is where we showcase and show off, frankly, what it makes Denver special. And we have, with our airport, we have 230 plus or minus direct flights or direct destinations from all over the world. Those folks, instead of learning about Texas or California or Chicago, they will learn about Denver. This is our time where we can take people from the airport to the A line to Union Station to the 16th Street and show them who our women and minority-owned businesses are, who are the people that make up Denver, the small business owners, the patrons, the visitors. So this Denver Way will be for my constituents. It will be for all the Denver residents. We have multiple council members here. Thank you, Councilmember Watson and Councilmember Romero Campbell for being here as well. And so this will serve as their constituents too. The mayor's constituents, our governor, our national and international visitors, we are telling them who Denver is right here on 16th Street. So I'm so excited to be part of that. I'm so excited to have you part of that as well. And I'm also excited to open it. So please do come next weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Please do come on the 31st and the 1st. We will have lots of activation. We'll be here as in the District 10 office. We hope you will be here as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Councilman Hines. You can see we truly have such an incredible champion and appreciate all of your work. It's been truly special. Now, one of the really great things about 16th Street is that not only is it this dynamic space of over 400,000 square feet of public, programmed places where we can sit and enjoy, it's also a critical transportation project. So it is my pleasure to introduce Angel Pena, speaking on behalf of RTD as the Deputy CEO. Here we go. I'll get the deputy in there.
Good afternoon. As I introduced, I am Angel Pena, RTD's Deputy Chief Executive Officer, and it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon. 16th Street is Denver's corridor for commerce, connection, and community. It bridges downtown Denver, and for RTD, it connects to Union Station, our main intermodal transit hub, with both light rail's downtown loop and the Civic Center station. This corridor is served by one of the largest battery electric bus fleets in the US, and RTD is proud to offer this fleet of nearly 40 buses, providing 5-minute connections for thousands of customers every day. Last year, more than 1.5 million customers boarded RTD's familiar red buses to move along 16th Street. This number includes first-time visitors to the Mile High City, daily commuters, downtown residents, and those looking to enjoy all the 16th Street has to offer. The improvements that are being made here is an investment in our future, and RTD is proud to be a partner in that work. In the coming months, RTD will transition the brand of its Mall Ride to the 16th Street Free Ride. The new name of Free Ride aligns with many of our agency's other services, including Metro Ride, My Ride, Access a Ride, and Next Ride. The Free Ride is just that, a no-cost option through the heart of Denver. And of course, we will continue to provide high-frequency service for our customers. Again, RTD is proud to be a partner in this project and looks forward to continuing providing transit connections to, from, and through 16th Street. At RTD, we make lives better through the connections that we provide. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so so much. Well, you may also notice that we have a couple of additional council members joining us, and they have to bounce. So I'm going to jump ahead to the end for just a second and thank so much the entire council, particularly as we have Councilmember Watson and Romero Campbell standing here. This truly, when we talk about the Royal We and the understanding that 16th is a part of our entire city and represents and is for our entire city, the support has been incredible. So thank you both so much. Appreciate all you've done. So now it's my pleasure to bring up Amy Ford, the Executive Director of the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure. One of the fun talking points I love about this project is truly about 80% of it is underground. And the rest, as I like to say, is the lipstick. And we love it all. But to talk about the importance of this as critical infrastructure in our city, Amy, welcome.
Thank you. You know, we talk about what we see and what we don't see. And a part of today's discussion, because now we'll bore you with the engineering details, but we won't. The pieces make the whole. And today let's talk about the pieces of what makes 16th Street so vital, so creative. And I hope that our folks in the media fly your drone up a little bit later to catch the entirety of this corridor as we sit and we talk about the elements and the pieces that will not drive the infrastructure of this city, but the vibrancy, the sense of community, and how we all build together. When we sit and we think about this street, let's talk below the surface for just 2 seconds. When we think about below the surface, and you guys can see the below the surface just a little bit further down where we are still constructing just a couple of blocks that will be done here through the summer. But when we think about that, we have modernized miles and miles of underground utilities. The spaghetti soup, if you will, of what was underneath this, from 100-year-old wooden pipes that carried our water to utilities and others. What you see is a streamlined system that not just affects everything that you see in the buildings around us, but enables this corridor to be able to be sustained, to be able to hold the weight of one of these magnificent vehicles that drives along it, to be able to do all of these things to ensure that what you walk and play on underground works. Even to the point that the trees that you see have been constructed in a way underground that allows them to expand and to grow, and their root balls continue to go. So not that just full-grown trees that you see today will continue to thrive throughout this entire environment. You will also see a paver system, and this is where the drones come in handy. In an homage to the original paver system that was designed by I.M. Pei, the rattlesnake design that was so emblematic of what 16th Street is, you see that reflected today in a 21st century approach, in a 21st century sustainable approach that allows us to not just, again, celebrate our history, but look forward to our future and what we are about to bring and how we look at that. 280,000 square feet of paver. We talked about pavers before, but what that really transitions to was nearly 1 million hand-set pavers by all of the teams and all of the teams at PCL, hand-set every single one of these throughout the entire construction process. As we look up, you also then see this tree canopy. And it's exciting to be able to say, I was sitting over here earlier and I was taking a phone call and I stood in the shade while I did it. You stood in the shade while you did it. Full-grown, mature trees that are only going to continue to grow and capture the vibrancy, the green, the historic, and the homage to the Denver Way, which doesn't just celebrate outside, but celebrates those elements that really create and bring the outside here and bring it downtown. And so you see that as we go. There are more than 200 new trees along this corridor, more yet coming, and several of the original 16th Street trees, you might ask, where are they? They're right there. They're sitting there in the benches. They're sitting there in the wood. They've brought them back in to continue to sustain and to recycle and emblematically remember where we came from and where we continue to go to. Equally so, the gathering places along this corridor, you can see this from the small to the large down at Glenarm, to the art installations, to the play installations. Each piece of those have been thoughtfully put together in a way that not just encourages congregation and community, but it encourages a sense of joy, a sense of discovery, a sense of exploration. And when you build that, you can even feel that on the teams and how they put those together and know where that's going and the use and how the community will engage and use this. We've talked already about the transit system, but least we forget that this is a transit corridor. It's a walking corridor. It's a pedestrian corridor. It's a movement corridor. And so when we talk about 16th Street, an emphasis on the street, that continues in the way that we focused and designed and built it and want to make sure that people continue to see this as a way to get from here to there and to explore along the way. So looking ahead as we continue all of this, we just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been a part of this, to the individual team members who you still see out on construction, and the team members here within Dottie and others who dreamed this and envisioned it and built it in collaboration with our city partners and others. We're so grateful that we're here today to be able to celebrate this opening. More yet to come, and I would like to then turn it over to our partners who have done this with us, and Ryan Schmidt with PCL Construction.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. I'm Ryan Schmidt, Vice President and District Manager for PCL Construction. And first off, thank you for your patience and your belief in the vision of this fantastic project that we're sitting amongst today. I'm proud to be representing a company that's called Denver Home since 1975. For 50 years, we've helped shape Colorado's skyline, and the 16th Street renovation project is one of our most meaningful in our history. Behind the scenes, our teams tackled century-old infrastructure challenges, located utilities dating back to the 19th century, and engineered a new drainage system to handle Colorado's famously unpredictable weather. These were challenges worth taking on, as we can now say that PCL played a role in renewing our city's most iconic gathering place and preparing it for its next generation. And over the course of the project, we worked closely with the city to support green initiatives and accessibility. From planting a wider mix of tree species to enhancing ADA features and walkability, we made critical updates to welcome more Denverites to this great space. Finally, we're proud of how this project invested back into Denver. It created meaningful job opportunities, workforce apprenticeship hours, and exceeded goals for diverse business participation. We're honored to stand here today with the City and County of Denver, Dottie, RTD, and all the partners of the mall, including the Downtown Denver Partnership, of course, on this historic effort. Thank you.
Awesome. I think there are a few people on the PCL and the Dottie team who are receiving MVP awards during opening weekend. It's truly, truly incredible. Well, it's my pleasure to close this out. Before I do so, there is one very, very significant thank you that I have to say, and that is to our mayor and the entire mayor's office team. It has been absolutely incredible to see the investment of this administration in time and energy and resources to get us to where we are today. So, Mayor Johnston, thank you so much. And with that, we will take, the mayor does have to leave very quickly, so we'll take maybe a couple of questions for the mayor, and then we'll keep it going for a little bit afterwards. So, Mayor, I'll invite you to come up, and we'll take a couple of questions.
Yes, great to see you all. We are ready. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I mean, for us, the past several years has been about sustaining those businesses in the midst of a closed central spine of downtown, which has been a very hard thing to do. This is the opening that all those businesses have been waiting for, which is the ability to have all the streets open, the buses running, the fences down, and people be able to come back to downtown in great numbers. And so, and that, I think, combined with our downtown safety plan, which we launched a month ago, what we are seeing is overwhelmingly businesses that are on blocks that are already opened are seeing massive increase in both foot traffic and revenue. And we're seeing many more leasing requests for downtown commercial spaces once this opens. So you can see even from the foot traffic today, Denverites are anxious to get back to 16th Street. We think this actually finally opens the gates and welcomes them all back, and that's going to be great for small business. Yes. Other questions? Yes. How are you?
We do a little bit of a breakdown by the color. So how many more blocks of how many blocks still need to be finished? 2, what are vacancy rates looking like on this corridor? And 3, do you know the latest foot traffic levels?
Courtney is going to be the one to answer all of those questions better than me. Let me introduce you to Courtney Garrett.
Although the construction, I'll pass to Amy in all fairness. And also our partners at Dido, Adib Khan is here, so Adib, feel free to chime in. Our overall pedestrian count numbers right now, from a Monday through Sunday, morning, noon, and night, we're at about 85% of 2019. Our weekday, which I'm thrilled to say that just within the last couple of weeks, we've run some new numbers, and we're at 71% of 2019 levels of our Monday through Friday, what we call return to office. So we're seeing that definitely what you see and you feel today is actually proven up in the data. From a vacancy standpoint, we sit at about 22% vacancy here on 16th. Overall retail vacancy, and that's retail. We have an overall downtown retail vacancy rate of 15%. The great news is we have 5 letters of intent coming very soon that unfortunately we can't quite talk about today. So we are seeing, of the 26 vacant spaces that exist on 16th today, every single one will be activated with a permanent tenant or an art installation or some other kind of really exciting moment for Denver moving forward. We have a tremendous amount of interest. Amy, you want to address construction?
And just for awareness, as of this weekend and next weekend, what you will see was basically open all the way from here, all the way through approximately Block 10. And Block 10 is right around in front of Republic Plaza. Block 7, which is just a little bit up here, will be doing some finish work, but it will be very accessible for pedestrians and others as they are coming through. Just so you know, so as you go from essentially Republic Plaza out towards Civic Center, those projects will be working on, finishing on. You can see some of the underground that I was talking about as they finish that work, and that will be complete come here later into the late fall.
That was not on my bucket list when I took office. But obviously this construction was already underway, the project was underway. And I think as part of this, when you're investing these kind of resources into reactivating a iconic part of your city, you do want to make sure that you brand it in a way that people see themselves in it, feel connected to it, and feel welcome back at it. And I think, for many times, up until I was like 18, I thought the 16th Street Mall was the Tabor Center, right? You thought it was that one building where you went to the food court, because that's where I went when I was 14. And the misperception that you can come and think you're looking for one location or one building, we think has a real impact on retailers throughout the entire mile of 16th Street. So we liked the history of it. We wanted to keep that clear, but we also wanted to make it a more expansive destination than just one building, or make it think, if you came from out of town, that you're going to an actual indoor mall, which is quite the opposite of this vibe. So we thought 16th Street both captured the historical nature of it, but also gave a better description of what your experience will be on it than thinking you're heading for a mall. We have not yet renamed the bus.
Up for grabs.
It is still a free ride. We might call it the Denver Way because you will literally be traveling the Denver Way on it, but we will be activating it with lots of good advertisements as well as other art and signage.
Absolutely.
Marshall.
You just touched on this with that last answer, but I want to be clear. Do you think the thing that was keeping people away from here is the idea that it was called a mall?
No, not at all. I think what's been keeping people away from it the last 2 years is the entire thing's been closed and under construction. And so I think that's the problem we were trying to solve in this moment. I think in addition to that, what we knew was we wanted to activate and bring a lot more retailers downtown. So even before the reconstruction, we wanted a more vibrant, modern, representative set of experiences downtown. So it was both better retail, better restaurant, more activations like everything you'll see from the Glenarm open consumption area to the Skyline Park Beer Hall to the outer space locations to the art activations and the buskers. So I think it is the entire experience that we think draws people back down. We just think the totality of that experience now feels different than a mall, and so that was a more accurate description. Not that that itself changes what it was, it better describes what it does.
Well, our mayor does have to leave. I'm getting the hook from the team over here. So we're here and we'll continue to
I will leave it
answer
in very
questions,
capable
but-
hands. I do want to thank, of course, Adib and our team from Economic Development, who together with Courtney has been working overtime on recruiting vendors to come down. We've been meeting regularly with a lot of our local restaurants, local retailers, and so you will see more and more of those folks that have your favorite spot in your neighborhood also being locations you will see in downtown and on 16th, and so really grateful for all of their work, and huge thanks to all of our partners for making this possible. I'll turn it back over to Courtney. Thank you all.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mayor. All right, other questions? We have one right here. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely fantastic question. The question, for those who maybe couldn't hear it, is how are we planning to keep them all clean and safe? Again, we're incredibly grateful to our partners at the city. About a month ago, there was an announcement related to an infusion of resources here on the 16th Street Mall that will be funded by the Downtown Denver Development Authority. So not taking resources from any other place in the city, but allowing us to have additional enforcement, additional outreach, and that's in addition to the 20 private security officers that we employ at the Downtown Denver Partnership, as well as our street outreach team, a very holistic approach. From a clean standpoint, we also, through the Downtown Denver Business District, fund more than 50 clean team members who are out on the streets 7 days a week. So all of it, again, working together is really emphasizing the absolutely fundamental importance of having a clean and safe 16th Street experience for everyone. Yeah.
You talked a little bit about the importance of 16th Street culturally for the city. Can you touch on how important it is economically?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So the question was about the economics, and Adib, I'm going to invite you to follow me on this. From an economic standpoint, we know that 16th Street, a few anecdotes, but they're data-driven, 16th Street alone represents 20% of the overall downtown's restaurant sales tax revenue. So from that standpoint, and we look at the overall contribution of downtown to our city's economic livelihood, that's incredibly important. We also know that occupancy rates, once 16th Street is open, it has historically been one of the highest tourism-driven areas of the entire state of Colorado. So we anticipate that as 16th Street opens, we're going to see that infusion of hotel lodgers tax come back, which is already sitting at about 55% of the whole. So you're absolutely right. It is both social and an economic driver for our city. Adib, anything to add?
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is that 16th Street obviously is critically important from its location standpoint. When we talk about our visitors in the city, we think of the convention center, which draws in 500,000 people every year, and that major connection point right there at 16th and California. We want those visitors, we want those folks who are attending the conventions to be able to come on 16th Street and to be able to have a great experience, both from a retail standpoint as well as from a restaurant standpoint. Then we also think about our professional sports teams, our connections to the performing arts. There's a ton of opportunity to ensure that 16th Street is thriving, that the businesses here are thriving, that we're drawing in foot traffic, and that is critical not only to the businesses on 16th Street, but also on many of the adjacent streets and the connection points to many of our great amenities that we have downtown. Yeah.
We talk about tourism, tax dollars at large for the city. Was the closure of this have an impact on our tourism across the board?
Yeah, I don't know exactly off the top of my head. We definitely have seen overall from a downtown perspective a reduction in the revenue that we're seeing from the city from downtown. And that obviously has 16th Street, and the closure of it has an effect on that. The closure of 16th Street has an effect on folks returning to the office and navigating through downtown. So it has had a compounding effect on a number of components with our downtown economic engine. And so now that it is open, we hopefully will see more traffic from a foot traffic standpoint, more people coming and visiting downtown, more people experiencing many of our businesses. And our tourism industry has remained strong. Our hotel occupancy has remained strong throughout the last few years. And our convention center is on track to have a record year, which we're really excited about as well. Well, I think for us, the important thing is that we want to maximize the economic output of 16th Street and downtown. And so in order to do that, much of the work that we've put into this investment and the activations that DDP is managing along with arts and venues is really critically important to maximizing bringing people back to downtown, shopping downtown, and enjoying all the businesses in our downtown area.
Right here. Yes. So there is we have 3 areas where there will be the semblance of open consumption. 2 of those are actually at Skyline and at at Outer Space, apologies, should try and clarify. Skyline Park and our outer space at 16th and Welton, those are really driven by what we do at the Downtown Denver Partnership and special events. There's one, help me with the exact nomenclature team, open consumption area that's licensed by the city. common consumption area that has been licensed sort of outside of the special event permit as a pilot so that we can look at other areas of downtown but do it in a way that feels safe for everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
What about doors? Door openers are along the corridor. It's one thing to put this here, but there are people like myself that can't get outside
Yeah.
and actual experience downtown.
Yeah.
When are more doors?
Fantastic. I'm going to put a little bit of that to the door openers. When will more door openers be made available? I know that that's been a really significant part of the infrastructure study to ensure that we are paying attention to curb lines, ingress, egress, and all of that. The exact I will absolutely follow up with you on, but I'm not sure on the timeline and the extent just yet, unless anybody else has that front of mind. But got you. Okay, I think we have time for one more question.
Yes, when we talk about security and enforcement, when is the Department of License and Excise going to start enforcing that security officers wear prominent name badges? It's a requirement under Denver law. You go to any retail place or any business
Yeah.
where there's private security, including the downtown partnership's own security guards that do not have prominent name badges. This is a Denver law. This is a requirement. It's not optional.
Sure. Understood. Unfortunately, we do not have law enforcement represented right now, nor excise and license, so that is a question that we'll follow up on. Thank you. Okay, I got two more, and then we'll cut it. Is that okay, team? Okay, got two more here.
Quick question on the final price tag where it's going to land once it's completed?
Amy.
As budgeted. So as we know, that project is a little over $150 million. And so, but I will be happy to provide you the exact price as we go. Yeah. So let me, I'll come back and give that to you on the exact as we go. So I don't want to misquote the number if you want it to be exact.
And once this is done, what's next? 15th Street, 17th Street? I mean, is this part of a series?
You know, I think when we talk about investment in downtown and we talk about investment in the Downtown Development Authority and others, and we have a series of thoughts about how we create and continue to expand our public space, both for gathering, for mobility, and for safety. And so there's a series of different elements and projects that we can talk about, but I think the important thing right now is to focus on how this is the linchpin that really starts to drive additional mobility throughout the city and throughout the downtown area.
Fantastic. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. That would be embarrassing. I've got a question right here, front and center. Last one.
Just wondering if you could speak more to the name change. Was it down to a final
Yeah.
decree? What was kind of that process like? And then is there a cost, like a number that is associated with the rebranding, the name, the imagery? Is there a cost that a number that you can give us?
I'll start with the last part of the question. It's been embedded in just overall refresh and repositioning, so it's really hard to pinpoint a number. I'll also point to the number of, again, partners that are involved here, from the partnership and what we've allocated, what's coming as a part of natural construction within the different departments of the city. So it's relatively hard to pinpoint the exact number. When it comes to the process that we went through, there was very extensive community engagement. We went through a lot of focus groups and different moments of talking to neighborhood organizations and really asking the quintessential question, what does 16th Street mean to you? And yes, there were many names vetted, many of which came out in some competitions in the media, which were fantastic. We took input from a number of angles, and truly what you heard the mayor say, coming back to the core, celebrating who we are as a community, but perhaps losing that piece, that mall piece that doesn't feel as relevant to our future, as inclusive to our future, that's where we really landed on the name. But I promised you there was a lot of creative, many creative ideas that came forward. Okay, I want to thank you all again for joining us. You know how to find us at the Downtown Denver Partnership for any follow-up, as well as all of our partners here. It is a truly wonderful, incredible day for downtown. Thank you. We look forward to celebrating with you on the 31st.